Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Newcastle and Liverpool go to war over Ekitike amid Isak hands-off warning. Newcastle United are pushing ahead with their attempts to sign Eintracht Frankfurt striker Hugo Ekitike in the hope of pairing him with Alexander Isak next season. In a strong response to Liverpool's unwanted approach for Isak on Tuesday, Newcastle are determined to deliver a power play of their own and have enjoyed a productive round of talks regarding the sale of Ekitike in the last 24 hours. Newcastle have had an opening bid of £65 million rejected but are expected to return with an improved offer in the hope of finalising the transfer of one of their long-term targets. Liverpool, though, have also made contact with the Bundesliga club, and although they are yet to submit a formal offer for the 23-year-old, there is strong competition for his signature. Telegraph Sport understands the Newcastle hierarchy have remained unflustered by what they perceive to be a blatant attempt to unsettle Isak after news of Liverpool's willingness to offer £120 million was leaked into the public domain. Indeed, rather than worry about losing the Sweden international, Newcastle are pressing ahead with their own recruitment needs. With Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, who own a controlling stake in the North East club, unimpressed with a perceived attempt to bully them into selling Isak by a domestic rival, Newcastle intend to show how ambitious they are. It is believed that one of the threats made by Liverpool was they would hijack their move for Ekitike if they refused to sell Isak to them. However, Newcastle steadfastly maintain that Isak is not for sale in this transfer window, and this stance is shared by all the main power brokers at St. James Park. And rather than fend Liverpool off on one front, Newcastle are willing to fight them on both and have responded to Tuesday's drama by intensifying talks for Ekitike. It is not yet known what Isak's response to Liverpool's interest will be. It is unlikely they made an approach to Newcastle without being encouraged to believe the 25-year-old was interested in a move to Anfield. As things stand, Isak has not told anyone at Newcastle that he wants to leave, but things could change. Liverpool are unlikely to accept defeat in their pursuit of Isak easily, but they have been made aware of Newcastle's not-for-sale position. Newcastle launched their bid for Ekitike over the weekend. It was with the intention to sign him as both competition and cover for Isak. They have had one bid of around £65 million rejected by Eintracht Frankfurt, but have indicated they are willing to improve their offer. The France Under-21 international can also play out wide and with 3 domestic cup competitions, as well as the Champions League, to navigate next season. Manager Eddie Howe wants more than one centre-forward to choose from. What I'm told. Fabrizio Romano outlines Isak's stance on potential Liverpool transfer. An overnight update from Fabrizio Romano has pointed towards a viable possibility of Liverpool signing Alexander Isak this summer. The Reds' pursuit of the 25-year-old stepped up a notch on Tuesday after David Ornstein reported that an approach has been made to Newcastle for the striker, although no formal offer has materialized as of yet. Despite some reports to the contrary from elsewhere, another reliable source of transfer news has now lent weight to the growing possibility of the Premier League champions securing a blockbuster swoop for the Sweden international. What has Romano said about Isak and Liverpool? In an update on his eponymous YouTube channel, Romano has claimed that Liverpool are ready to lodge a formal bid for Isak, who hasn't shut the door on a potential move to Anfield. The Italian transfer guru stated, "Liverpool told Newcastle that they are ready to offer £120 million record fee for Alexander Isak. What I'm told also is that the player didn't close the doors to Liverpool. He didn't stop Liverpool from doing that. The player is still in conversations with Newcastle because they want to offer him a new contract. Newcastle really hoped to advance on that one, but the player didn't stop Liverpool. He didn't say no to Liverpool. He seems to be open to the move." Isak's reported stance continues to give Liverpool genuine hope. If LFC are indeed serious about putting upwards of £120 million on the table for Isak just a few weeks after breaking their transfer record to secure Florian Wirtz in a £116 million deal, it'd represent an extraordinary statement of intent from FSG this summer, one which shattered their purported reputation for excessive frugality into smithereens. The tragic death of Diogo Jota earlier this month has presented Richard Hughes with the unenviable task of recruiting a positional replacement in circumstances for which nobody could have legislated, and any new arrival would not only have to compensate for the Portuguese forward's goal-scoring ability, but also handle the emotional aspect which come with the transfer. From a purely pragmatic on-field perspective, though, the Newcastle marksman would be a genuine marquee addition. He's struck 44 goals over the last 2 Premier League seasons, and his openness to joining the Reds will raise hopes of a blockbuster deal being agreed. The Magpies will justifiably be desperate to hold on to Isak, but if Liverpool were to come forward with an offer of £120 million or more, it might just prompt the St. James Park hierarchy to give it strong consideration, especially amid their concurrent pursuit of Hugo Ekitike. So long as reports from trusted sources like Ornstein and Romano present genuine hope of a transfer coming off, Koppitz may be optimistic of seeing a second club record deal at Anfield this summer. Jamie O'Hara reacts after hearing unbelievable transfer rumor coming out of Liverpool. The Reds have brought in Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen as their marquee signing, while also strengthening other areas of their team. And even though Liverpool have already spent a massive amount of money, it doesn't feel like they're going to stop anytime soon. There are still a couple of areas within Liverpool's first-team squad that could do with an upgrade, and with there being just under 2 months left of the window, there's likely to be plenty more rumors that surface. Jamie O'Hara left aghast after Liverpool speak to Newcastle about Alexander Isak transfer. On Tuesday afternoon, news broke that Liverpool had formally contacted Newcastle about making a bid for Isak this summer. The Magpies have recently shown an interest in reported Liverpool transfer target Hugo Ekitike, which the Reds seemingly felt opened the door for a conversation about Isak. And now, while presenting the sports bar on TalkSport, Jamie O'Hara has given his thoughts on the Reds' bold move. Liverpool have come from nowhere in terms of all of a sudden going bang and they're now building a Galactico team of Premier League talent, O'Hara said. Liverpool would have a super team if Alexander Isak makes the switch. There's no denying that Liverpool are going to be the team to beat in the Premier League once again next season. Throughout the 2024-25 season, the Reds were dominant on every front, with just a couple of areas within their starting 11 that needed strengthening. And now that players such as Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez have been brought in to fill those gaps, their attention can now turn towards a new number 9. Throughout the summer, more or less every striker that has come onto the market has been linked with Liverpool. Isak, however, is the one name that seems to have stuck around, and now that an approach has been made by Liverpool, it's up to the player whether he wants to leave St. James Park or not. Only time will tell what the future has in store, but if Liverpool do pull off the signing Isak, the 2025-26 summer transfer window will be one of the Reds' best of all time. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.